Welcome, welcome, welcome to another exciting episode of Wine Down with Kev. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us today. Let's begin with an attitude of gratitude. Thank you, and you for taking time out of your schedule to tune in today. Big thanks to all of you that have already subscribed and hit the notifications button to follow Wine Down with Kev on YouTube. You are appreciated. Even bigger thanks to my sponsor. You'll see them flashing on the screen behind me throughout the podcast. But for all insurance agents, all business people looking to take your social media to the next level, please contact Carol Media. They've done amazing things for me. They'll do it for you as well. On the digital side of the business, if you're looking to make things easier for your staff and your clients, that exchange of information to do insurance, look no further than Canopy Connect. They have the tools to make everything easy and modern. Reach out to Canopy Connect. All right, that being said, I am super excited today to continue our journey across America, doing 50 podcasts with 50 agents from 50 different states. Today, we go to the great state of Michigan, where we're going to speak to an amazing agent, a Hall of Fame agent, a Dick McKenna award-winning agent. You want to talk about sales? She's won all the awards. You want to talk about giving back to the community? She's done all of that too. But you want to talk about leadership amongst the agency ranks and being an all-around amazing person? Look no further than our next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, put your warm Wine Down with Kev hands together and welcome Cheryl Bowker, who I'm proud to call my friend. Hey, Cheryl, how are you?
Hey, I am good. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you.
Yes, absolutely. Great to see you and great to be seen. How is life today? How's life in Michigan today?
Busy, 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 busy. I, don't know where the time goes, but there's never a day that it's not filled from sunup till, I don't know, way late at night. Let's put it that way.
I love it. I love it. Busy is good for me, Cheryl. Is busy good for you? I think you
Busy.
like being busy like I do.
I do. I do. I think I'm told that I thrive on it, I guess. So,
You,
I
you're
stop one thing and five more things come into my plate, and I could say no, but I don't. And it's just a journey. I've had many blessings along the way with the different things I've been able to get involved in and do. So it's great. It's good.
Well, I love it. I think it's the law of attraction. I think you wake up very intentional to do good. And as a result, good things come to you and it kind of works together like that.
Yeah, long ago somebody talked to me about meditation, and I thought, how in the heck do you have time to meditate? But I started listening to some podcasts at the time about meditating, and so that's when I do my best work. Really, is after my meditation. I get up in the morning bright and early, and I start my meditation and my readings, and it's off to the races. So I started that quite a few years ago, and it kind of keeps you balanced.
I
So
love
yes,
it,
I'm
Cheryl.
up early.
I love it, Cheryl. So, Cheryl, I like to ask people about their morning routines. What's your morning routine? What time do you get up, and what's the first things that you do before the rest of the world comes after you?
Oh, you don't want to see me first thing. First thing, I stumble to the coffee pot, and I don't have time to wait for the whole pot. So it's a 1 cup for me to start, and let the dog out. And then I go sit in my chair with my coffee, do my meditation. And then I've got a series of books that I bring out. And they're from everything from religious to business to you name it. And I do that for about an hour and a half, and then I start my day, but
Oh my
not
God.
without the coffee.
I love it. I got all the pieces. So people, I gave Cheryl the introduction. If you want to see the details of her accolades, Cheryl Bowker, Allstate Insurance. She's won all the awards, but here's the thing. It's not about the end game, the prizes at the end. I think it starts with that first 90 minutes of meditation, reading. Cheryl, let's go deeper into your meditation. Is it silent meditation with just the sounds of nature? Is there meditation music playing?
I do have meditation music playing. Sometimes it's just silent. Sometimes I just want to be within, right?
Wow.
So it depends. I kind of mix it up. Every day is a little bit different. But yeah, I do have some different musics that I like. If I can't get out of my head right away, you have to
I
get
got
out of your head to let it work, right? And sometimes I'm already working. So
Cheryl, this is so relatable because sometimes the voice in our head is so loud. It doesn't matter. Nobody in the house has to be saying a word, but the things that you're thinking about and you're working on,
yeah,
they are moving. They're dancing all over the dance floor. And you're like, give me a second,
yeah,
please. Let me gather my thoughts. So the meditation music takes away from that. I love it. So right away, Cheryl, I usually build up slow and get to the good stuff at the end, but you're starting with sharing some amazing wind down jewels right away. So, Cheryl, let's go to your backstory first. Obviously, we know each other. We've worked together on the agency executive council. We've been on trips together, things of that nature. But in looking at your website, I learned more about your backstory that I didn't know. I didn't know that you started part time, but then it wasn't until almost 20 years later that you opened your agency. That's very similar to mine. But talk to me about your backstory in your terms.
well, my parents had an Allstate insurance agent, and got my license. Went in and saw him. He taught me, all about insurance at that point, and said, "Hey, if you ever need a job, I could get you into Allstate." So when I graduated from high school, between high school and college, I started part time with Allstate, and kind of continued that. It was an open ended job. So I was part time, and then I went full time as a full time sales secretary to the district manager at the time, and thought, I'm just going to do this in interim till I figure out what I want to do. And it ended up to be a full time job. I did do a stint in claims, and then I helped manage GAs. I don't know if you remember that term,
Of
but general
course, of
agents
course.
at the time. And then had 3 kids, and figured out, hey, these agents are making pretty good money.
So you're the sales secretary at the time for the DM, district manager, and then those names have changed a lot over the time. And in your administrative duties, you're sending out information and you're seeing what's happening here. And then you're doing the math at home. And what are you thinking to yourself that this could really help and I can do this?
Yeah. So I had a powwow with the family, and we pulled together my kids were older at the time, which helped, right? And
Yes.
because when you get into the job of owning an agency, it's just not selling insurance. So you're pretty, round the clock 7 days a week. But kids got involved in it. They learned how to stamp coloring books and come into the office and do all kinds of things. So it worked as a family affair, which carried me through till today. And, today I have 3 kids that are in the industry as well. So I'm very blessed. I get to see them, work with them, counsel with them on, what makes this a good opportunity, a good career. And they do a lot of things in the community with me. They've done that all their lives. So, they're right there with me, along with my staff, doing lots of good things out in the community. So that makes it fun and enjoyable, and it doesn't feel like work most of the time.
I love it, Cheryl. That's our second connection vibe. Father of three as well. And a big shout out to your husband. I got to hang out with your husband a couple of years ago in Nashville. We sang a little country music together in one of those bars. You can't name them because they're all awesome and they're all similar but different. I remember one of
Don't
the
tell me
bands.
I was singing.
No, no, no. It was me and your husband. You weren't in the game. No, it
Okay.
was me. And we were there. I think we were celebrating you, but we were there together and we hummed a few bars together at that place. But please acknowledge him and just say something nice about your husband. Acknowledge the names of your children before we go further. They're going to
Oh,
watch this podcast and listen, and they're going to say, Mom, you never said our names. So I don't want that to happen.
I could not do it without all of them. My husband, Scott,
Yes.
we just celebrated 2 days ago 35 years together. So that was pretty huge for us.
Nice.
And
Yes.
he and I got married when I had 3 kids under the age of 5.
I
So
love it.
you can imagine.
I
He's
love it.
and pretty soon I said, "Hey, I want to open a business," and he was right there. So he's
I,
my right arm. And my kids, I have twins that are going
nice.
to be 40 this year, Amanda and Brandon. And then I have my older son, Jason.
I love it. I love it. So there you go, Scott, Amanda, Jason, and my handwriting let a name get away from me. Is it Brenda?
Brandon.
Brandon. Okay, my handwriting is atrocious. So shout out to all of you being there for mom from the beginning of the business. I like that you said stamping coloring books and getting the kids involved early. Definitely can relate to that, things they can do very early in the game. And it stayed with them. And it's wonderful that they're involved in the business to this day. That's another part that probably working with them or being with them is just spending time with family. And we have the great pleasure of taking care of other people's families as well in this work.
We had a station wagon at the time, and we packed up the back of the station wagon. This was when you were allowed to go door to door with your door hangers, right? So we would go in neighborhoods, and the kids would come back and get bags and the door hangers and, apartment complexes, hanging on all the doors. So, yeah, they've been involved since they can remember, I'm sure, in mom's, endeavor to be out in the community and sell insurance.
I love it. Sure, let's talk about the community, your involvement, your accolades, your give back to the community. Um, how has that been? How has that been such an integral part of your all-state journey as well? Not just running a business for the financial gain or the ability to take care of staff. How did being involved in the community, how did those two things intertwine so much right from the beginning for you?
Oh, from the very beginning. I went to Allstate school, right? We went for 2 weeks back then in Chicago, and they talked about, getting involved with your chamber of commerce, getting involved in with police and fire because they had different coloring books, different things that you could use. And when I came back, I went door knocking and went to 5 different cities for the police and fire departments. And
Nice.
I started doing all their open houses. I got, my degree in stop, drop, and roll and car seat fitting. And so I started having events at the office, and pretty soon I said, this should be bigger. So this is our 26th year of Passport to Safety, and it's an event that is all about safety in the home. And it's a free event for kids. We bring in anywhere between 4,000 and 5,000 people that day. And it takes us a year to plan. Last night, I just got 2 grants. I went and got 2 grants because it's such a huge event. And kids and parents learn so much. We have so many different generations coming back that the community wants to be involved in our, event. And so it's been a journey making it bigger, making it something that's a part of the city that I live in, their culture, but we bring kids and families from all over the state of Michigan to it. And it's coming up in 2 weeks. So we had our last planning meeting this morning at the police department. Everybody's raring to go. I had a flyer in front of me. I'd show it to you, but if anybody wants to know about it, I'll have it out on social media later today. And
Cheryl, I love it. So this is what I'm thinking. This is what the audience is thinking. You're planning this event that's going to attract 4,000 to 5,000 people. Like you, I've been in many agencies around the country. I've never seen one with the capacity to host 4,000 to 5,000. So where are we doing this at? Are we doing it at the library, a local high school, a mega church? Where will this happen at?
so we started, like I said, we started at in my office parking lots at the time. and at the police and fire station doing individual events. Then we went to the mall, and we did it in the mall, inside and outside, for a number of years. And now we're back outside. So in the city that I live in, the police and fire department are very close, and the grounds are encompassing a large corner in the center of our city. So we have it there, and we bring in tents, we bring in horses, we bring in DTE, we bring in Coast Guard boats, boat safety. We have a school bus coming, school bus safety. They teach the kids internet safety, bring in a big truck. So it's the day before is a big planning day. We put up over 30 tents and bring in all sorts of stuff. And the next day it just happens. We just pray for good weather.
So, Cheryl, watch this. And for anyone, business people, insurance agents watching this, get a notebook. There are some amazing jewels being dropped here. You start the business door knocking, you get involved right away with giving back to the community, and now you're helping plan and lead an event that brings 4,000 to 5,000 people together. As a result of that, I'm sure no one in your agency knocks on doors anymore because all your giving has put you in front of enough people.
Yeah. Yeah. And then COVID hit, right? So you had to find other ways to do things. But that didn't stop being involved in different community causes. So my agency gets involved in 6 to 10, some years 10, different community causes. And we go to their events. We help support their events. We have a big referral program in our agency that my customers get to help support the community causes. We allow our customers to have a voice in who they think we should be supporting. And, we just put it out on social media, and we tell all of our customers what we're doing. And if there's an event, they show up. So it's not door knocking, but we do get in front of our customers on a regular basis, and they help us and we help them.
Door knocking to digital marketing. And I love something that you said earlier. You said we're back outside. COVID was a challenging pivot for all of us. I know personally for me, it was challenging because I'm sitting in my home office and I'm looking at a blank white calendar and nothing was happening. And that's where someone who I was working on helping me in the social media space said, what's wrong, Kevin? Where's your energy? I said, I have nothing. I have no appointments. I have no events, and I don't know what to do. And she said, why don't you start a podcast? To which I replied, what's a podcast? I had no idea. But from that, it allowed me to help an organization raise money online with a digital event. And that was really meaningful and helpful. So I love that you're using your platform and social media to invite, and that you're including your customer base and what you give. But talk to me about your referral program and the opportunity for customers and community to get involved. Do you do a Quotes for a Cause program where you help raise money for causes?
We do. Yeah, we do. So these last month and this month, we have a firefighter that was struck down with cancer. He's got a family. He's in a bad way, and we wanted to help support him. The community has rallied around him with food and different things. But medical costs are expensive. And so he is our community cause. And the outpouring that we've gotten from our customers to want to help. So we say, all you got to do is send us a referral. And for every referral, we donate to the cause. So we have been able to write a couple good checks.
I love it.
And we have rally days where that's all we do is call out for referrals, and whatever community cause we're representing, we talk about that community cause. And one of our main sources of business is referrals. As you can imagine, we're, out in the community a lot. So that's how I built the business, was being face to face with people. So I don't really know how to do it well any other way. So when COVID hit, you're right, that was really hard.
Yes. But you said we're back outside. And I love what you shared about the quote for causes, the community causes. I like that the people get to vote and say, hey, I know you're working on this or that, but did you hear about what's happening with the firefighter? How about throwing a bone this way? And it's constantly evolving, right? It's constantly changing. So I love it. So you and I share a community cause in common. Actually, our quote for a cause this month is Relay for Life.
Oh,
How
sure.
long have you been involved with Relay for Life?
Oh, 10 years?
Love it.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, yeah. Do you do it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. I've probably done it for a similar time frame. Literally, we're making donations for quotes for a cause for Relay for Life right now. But more than the quote for the cause, the being there and how they acknowledge the survivors and the
Yes.
caregivers and the candle lighting. It's a community bonding and spiritual experience that doesn't exist without being involved with that cause. So I personally love it.
Yeah, I do
Love,
too.
I love it. So Cheryl, your agency speaks volumes, your community speaks volumes, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about your leadership and what you've done for other agents across the country. So how did you bridge from sales secretary to agency owner to being one of the most highly regarded leaders, givers, advocates for agents across the country? When did that happen? How did it start? And how have you enjoyed doing it?
Oh, I've loved it. Um, how did it start? Well, the same year that I opened my scratch agency, I was asked to be on an district council. Um, my numbers were good. I was top in the at that time top in the state, and they asked me as a new agent to get involved, and so I got involved. And pretty soon they formed an agent congress that had agents all over the country involved. And I was still only in my first year as a scratch agent, but again, I had been around, Allstate for a long time at that point, 18 years. And so I flew into Chicago to be a part of the Agent Congress. And that was fantastic to be in a room with leaders, not only leaders of the company, but leaders across the country. And I learned so much. And I think we were only there 2 days. And so I just wanted to do more of that. And so I was involved in that Agent Congress. They started talking about forming a national advisory board. And I got chosen to be on that. And National Advisory Board was great, awesome. Had a great experience. Met so many good people. Uh, the best part about it was that you got to put a face with leadership, and you really felt like you were bringing a voice to the table of the agents that you were represented back in your state. Um, Down the road, after being on the National Advisory Board, Tom Wilson at the time wanted to form a council that would be more of a council to uh, the executives, um, and be smaller, be a tight knit group that they could go to and um, bounce things off of, and get our reaction. And so we started small. I think first we started like around six. I think the executive council, now we ended up about 22 people. And
Okay.
what a group that was. 22 people from across the country with all the top executives in the room, because this was a new thing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it was just explosive. And I really enjoyed being a part of that and being a part of the strategy that we worked on. And so the rest is kind of, I just kept going with that because I found it so rewarding to be a part of strategy and be able to take the agent's perspective and have it mean something with the people who are running our big corporation.
I love it. I love it. Cheryl, through your giving and being involved from the NAB to the first version of the AEC, you have built incredible relationships with leadership. ongoing relationships to this day. How important is it for newer agents that may listen to this podcast when they have that first opportunity to speak at a market meeting or join the district growth council? How important is it to say yes?
Very important. It's as important as way back when they said you need to join the chamber and get out into the community. It's as important as that. That's what builds your network for growth in your agency. But you can't really grow your agency without understanding the strategy of the company.
Yes.
And you do that by networking with other agents, and you do that by networking with leadership. And I don't just mean local leadership, really important that you're, on town hall meetings. We don't get together all that often. So, really important that we, all know what is coming and what leadership is working on. And the bigger part for an agent, I think, is to be really involved with their National Advisory Board liaisons and their AEC members to have their voice heard by them that take that to the next level, if that makes sense.
It makes a ton of sense. So what you've said, if you look at it from the national level to the local level, it's important to reach out to those people that are on those boards, those district growth councils, and have relationships. I talk to agents a lot about taking trips, right? Sometimes some awards we have to win, but other ones, there are a lot of forums, whether it's Texas,
Oh, yeah.
Midwest, whatever you can take a trip, maybe awards you don't have to qualify for. I think it's important for agents just to get together with other agents. How valuable has that been to you, just getting together with other agents, getting ideas from this one or from that one, or sharing your journey? How important is that for agents that are A, either starting out, or B, they've been around for a little while and they feel stuck? Because stuck is a real thing that can happen to any of us.
Well, and I think through COVID, through us not having as many trips and get togethers in our states and our regions, it's even that much more important to seek out these different, find a group that you feel like you can connect with. There's a lot of them out there. Just getting together with other agents is what's helped me grow my business, helped me understand the business that much better. Um, it's easy to get together with people in your own state.
Mhm.
Sometimes you need to reach out across the country to get different ideas. Michigan is a state that, excuse me, but we've just been down and out for a lot of the years that I've been an agent. Very hard to grow. This year we're having a great year in Michigan. Things are turning, tides are turning, and Michigan is more of a growth state. When we were not, though, I was seeking out agents from other states that were growth states. What are you doing, and how can I implement it in my state and kind of get that momentum going? There isn't a bad meeting, I don't think, that you
No,
can go to where there's other agents.
yeah.
There's always somebody that you're going to sit next to that you're going to learn something from. And you never know, you may be the person that inspires them to keep going. I mean, that's how this works. It's a give and take. Sometimes you give, sometimes you take. And I always, on the way home from those trips on the plane, have a notebook and I just write the whole way home and, trying to put a game plan together for when I get back in the office. My staff always kid me. They say, don't go on any more trips.
Too many. Oh, your idea OD. Cheryl, let's stay here for a minute before we pivot to some fun stuff. Um, you talked about Michigan, where they've been. I've been in New York. You know what we've been through the past couple of years, but through the past 2.5 years, I've tried to be everywhere I could be with agents because I needed to vibe off the energy. So I always counsel agents, if you go on a trip and you leave with one phone number of a new friend and you come back with one idea, it's been a good trip.
Oh,
What would you say to that?
absolutely. And if you're going on a trip, you're going to get more than one phone number, I guarantee you. And anytime you go on a trip, be ready for your phone to ring, you know.
Yes.
That's just how it works. Like I said, there isn't a bad trip, and those relationships, once you build them, I mean, I've got agents across the country. That's my referral program when my customers move out of state, right? Because you develop that rapport and it helps you grow your business. It helps you take care of your customers on your end too when you need somebody.
I love it. Cheryl, let's pivot a little bit. I did one of these podcasts last week. Agent, I'll let her name not be mentioned right now. We get all the way to the end of the podcast, and I ask her anything I should have asked you about. And she volunteers at the end that she was in the skydiving and all sort of fun stuff. So I'm like, why did you bury the headline? I should have been talking to you about this all along. So we've talked a lot of business. Tell me something fun about Cheryl that you do with the family that's not related to business, but uh, any thrill seeking in you. That's what she said. She says, I'm a thrill seeker, Kevin. I do some pretty crazy things when I'm not working. So before I bury the headline again, is there any fun stuff we should know about Cheryl Bowker?
Oh, I love to have fun. If you know me, I love to dance. I love to hike. I
Yes.
love to travel.
Yes.
I have four grandkids that keep me really busy, ages 13, 12, 7, and 5, just turned
Nice.
5. And so they're just a hoot. So, we love to have them and go do things with them and go to their sporting or their dance concerts, things like that. I said about that busy, you
Yes.
lose one thing and as the kids get older, they're busier. So you're busier watching the things that they're doing. Um, we have a lake house, so summertime is, boating and being out on the lake. And we like to go to Arizona a lot. We have a house out there that we go to in the winter. I don't get there enough, but yeah, we're always. I got wheels on my feet. We're moving all the time, doing something. But I'm not a thrill seeker. I'm not doing any skydiving.
I got it. A couple of crazy dance moves, is that's where he starts.
That's about it until my back gives out, and then I go back to physical
So
therapy.
I love the balance of the cold climate in Michigan and then the house in Arizona to get away to that good 100-degree heat. I see a little balance and a little synergy there. Talk to me about the lake house. What does a morning look like there? What does a week look like on the lake house with the
Paddleboard. That's where I do my meditation.
Okay, okay,
Paddleboard. Yeah, I get on that paddleboard, and we have a river that feeds into the lake, and it's so serene. Lots of trees. I mean, just beautiful birds. I mean, you don't need any music. So get
okay,
on that paddleboard and just, love the day. So
okay.
that's my favorite.
So full disclosure, I tried paddleboarding for the first time last year in Alabama. I failed miserably. So what I didn't meditate that morning, so I wasn't balanced. I was off to one side or the other. I fell in the water a few times. So I've got to get my mental balance right before I try paddleboarding again. How's the lake? Is it super deep or is it nice,
Uh,
safe enough for the grands, everybody to
Oh,
jump in and swim?
it can get rough, but it's nice, and the river is nice because that's very calm. You talking about you paddleboarding, Scout probably not like me telling you this, but and here I go. He I got him a paddleboard. It's not his deal, so we got a kayak last year. So he kayaks and I paddleboard. Uh,
Kayaking's a little bit safer for so the listener that's not familiar. This is a big, beautiful country. We all do different things. So for the listener that's not familiar, how would you describe kayak? And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's more or less Scott has the pleasure of sitting inside.
inside, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's got a point with a platform we got on purpose because our dog is his baby. So he's in the kayak with the dog on the front.
I'm cool with that, Scott. You and I are alike. I'm ashamed to share publicly, but even when it comes to jet skis, twice on all state trips, I've fallen off of jet skis and fought for my dear life. Big shout out, big thank you to John Calora for saving me one time. And my wife, give me a little insight to my wife. You're talking about Scott, your husband. when I fell off the jet skis, my wife is so supportive. She came out and she says, "How much time do we have left on the jet skis?" And she took off and she enjoyed the rest of the time, so we didn't waste any money. So that's insight into my life. So that's my story.
We do a lot of jet skiing too. My grandkids really love the jet skis. So anytime I don't get much time by myself on the jet ski because if the grandkids are there, it's Nina, I want to go too.
And they call you Nina. I like that.
Nina.
I'm Pop Pop.
Okay. Yeah.
So Cheryl, we could talk about all of your awards, any of your awards, but one of the ones that you won is named after a very good mutual friend of ours, Dick McKenna. Can you talk to me about that award and what it meant to you to win that award?
Um, that is the most prestigious award that I own. Um, it it was named after a man who was my mentor. We were on the Agent Congress together. We were chosen to be a part of the NAB together, and we went to the AEC together, and we were pretty inseparable in meetings and phone calls after, working together. He, I owe a lot of my success to him. And so to get an award like that was right here. It
I
just
understand.
meant the world to me.
I understand. I know Dick McKenna very well, served on a New York advisory board with him to this day, posthumously with Rich. We're at his country club every year. We have a holiday party in his honor, and we all come out. Um, but when I first met you, my first AEC meeting, you reminded me, your energy, your spirit reminded me of Dick because we were having fun and a good social conversation, but it was time to take charge and get us focused on the task at hand. You did a quick pivot. You're like, hey, okay, this is what we got. We got 10 minutes. This is the audience. This is the topic. This is what we're talking about. You're going here. You're going there. Stay on topic. Stay on task. We'll reconvene after it's done. And I'm like, holy cow. This just went from fun to serious business. But I could relate because Dick did the same thing. He would let us go until a point, and then he'd rope us back in and we'd get things done. So thank you for sharing that about Dick. Just a phenomenal person. Absolute pleasure to know him, and seeing you with that award keeps him alive in all of our memories. Cheryl, we've had some fun. We've talked about a whole lot of things from starting to your current journey. I love the door knocker to the digital story. I think you shared a lot about the importance, even today, with all that we can do digitally with AI. And I'm one of the loudest voices out here, but I've never, ever, ever stopped going into the community and giving back because that's where the people are. So I'll make a statement. I want you to react to it. You can get anything that you want as long as you help enough other people get what they need. How do you respond to that?
Working with other people will never let you down.
Yes.
People will carry you.
Yes.
People will compliment you, work beside you. You just got to give them an opportunity. So you have to be out there. The best part of my job is being able to work with people every day. It's given me the freedom to be able to do some great things in the community. But I couldn't do that if I didn't get out there and meet other people and be a part of their story so that they could be a part of mine.
I love it. I love it. Cheryl, I've spent a lot of time on these podcasts. I've asked more about insurance and coverages and what's unique about the state of Michigan. So I'd be remiss if I didn't throw a couple of those insurance questions your way. Where you are in Michigan, for the people that don't know the state, give me a sense of the geography, the weather you face, and what's unique for insurance wise. Go ahead.
So this is Michigan, right?
Okay.
Our little mitten.
Yes.
So I am right here.
Okay.
And, Michigan is, I would say, one of the best states in that we don't have all these floods. We don't have the fires. We don't have earthquakes. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have those major catastrophes, but what we do have is we have ice storms.
Mhm.
We have a lot of, ice storms where trees ice up and fall on houses. We have tornadoes when it gets to be tornado time here. So we have a lot of that type of weather catastrophes in Michigan. More so upper, we call it, up north, upper
Yes.
Michigan. I'm lower Michigan. So more of the claims take place if they're catastrophic in upper Michigan. However, the market has changed so much. And if you are truly a referral based agency, um, and social media, your outreach is a lot further than it used to be. So
Yes.
when I started, my customer base was probably within 10 miles because that's where I did all my networking. That was
Nice.
where my people were. In today's world, social media, all the things I just mentioned, I too have a lot of coverage in Upper Michigan because of referrals, because of social networking, that type of thing. So we do get our fair share of catastrophes, that affect the customers out of my agency.
That being said, how important is it in Michigan to have a local agent that knows the landscape that can give people the right coverages so when that lake effect snow or the tornado hits, they're properly covered and they're not surprised that maybe they bought a cheap policy someplace else, but they're really shocked because they didn't have the right coverage?
Well, I mean, that's what being an agent is all about these days. If you're not one on one with the customers, whether it's over the phone or whether it's on Zoom or whether they still come into your office, and I still have a fair number of people that come into my office, you've got to be making the difference. It can't all be about that VC number
Mhm.
because it'll come back to bite you. I mean,
Yes.
if you're trying to write a policy that doesn't have the right coverages, trust me, it'll harm you more than it'll help you because it will come back to bite. So I think it's really important for agents coming into the marketplace today to understand what's going to allow them to have their job in the future. AI and direct and all of those places write a lot of insurance today. That
Mhm.
doesn't mean they write the right insurance. We get policies every day that we counsel, customers on what they have, and it never is what they think they had, right? And customers value the education, and they will pay more to have the right coverage and be able to talk to somebody. So that's how we've built our business. And I think that's how agents are going to make it in the future by making a difference with the customer, with doing the right thing with their coverages, but also continuous education.
I love it. I think that's sustainable as well. Cheryl, you and I got into business a long time ago. For the consumer listening to this in the great state of Michigan that's thinking, this sounds pretty good. I would like to get in the insurance business. Is it hard getting a license in Michigan and getting started?
Oh, I don't think it's hard to get a license. I think uh, it's hard to get it going um, without having been counseled or working with somebody ahead of time to understand what you need to do. Because it isn't insurance, selling insurance is a part of it, but it's a very small part of it in the landscape of things. You've got to know how to run a business. You've got to know how to manage people. You've got to educate people. You've got to all of a sudden learn about profit and loss statements and balance sheets and, a lot of things that having an insurance license just is a wee part of it. So getting the license is easy. Um, you really have to have the wherewithal to be able to network with people and understand what starting a business is all about and how you're going to continue it and make it thrive.
Okay. Sure. You joined the business early, uh, after high school, before college, 19, 20, 18. I don't know. Do you think it's still a good business for a young person looking, trying to find their way? Do you think it's still good for them to get in early so they can see and find their way in this business?
Yeah, I think so. It's a lot, every era has its challenges. It wasn't super simple when you and I got into the business. I
Yes.
mean, I just told you where I was out knocking on doors. On Saturdays, I was in people's houses writing life insurance with their cats in my lap, at night at 7 o'clock at night. I can remember going in and writing life insurance for this family. And that back then you did the swabs in their
Yes.
mouth, for the medical.
Yes.
And all their kids were lined up on the staircase and they started crying because they thought I was giving their parents a shot or something. So, every period has its challenges. I think that getting into this business, if you're somebody that wants to be an entrepreneur and you know that it's going to be a rough go the first couple years, but there are a lot of rewards and benefits from being able to have a career like we've had. I think it's a viable, great career for a young person
I
that's
love
driven.
I love it. I love it. Cheryl, you gave us your morning routine. One of my second to last questions is always, how do you wind down at the end of the day?
With a glass of wine, red or white, but I prefer Chardonnay. Um,
Yay.
uh, you know, going through the day with my husband, talking about what we both did. He's been retired about 12 years, but he's busy as can be as well. So we compare notes through the day. I might read a book at the end of the day. I might listen to something, but it's chill time when it gets to be about 9 o'clock now. And that wasn't the case before. I would be, all hours. But about 9 o'clock, it's chill time for Cheryl.
Chardonnay o'clock. I get it. I connect. I can relate. Cheryl, is there anything else you wanted to share with the people? Anything I didn't ask about that you'd like to talk about? Any pet projects you want to talk about? The upcoming drive in a couple of weeks? Anything at all? The stage is yours for final comments before I close us out.
Oh no, I didn't know how we were going to do this for 30 minutes, but I guess we did it. No, just really looking forward to our Passport to Safety event coming up. Allstate is a big supporter of me with that event, and I've appreciated that throughout the years. And I'm looking forward to seeing people on trips. There's a mega conference that I'll be at, hopefully AC25. I try to get out there and see those people that I know and love across the country.
Excellent. Well, that being said, I look forward to seeing you at Mega in Nashville, I believe, and AC25. I don't think that location's been announced, but if it's there, I look forward to seeing you in both places. And thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be a guest on Wind Down with Kev. And for everybody that tuned in today, thank you so much for tuning in. Whether you're watching us live on live stream on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, thank you. Whether you're watching or listening at a later date on your favorite podcast platform, thank you. And if you enjoyed the content we produced today, make sure you remember to hit the subscribe and notifications button so you'll be informed when amazing content like this goes live and it's on platforms everywhere. Big thanks. Couldn't do it without my sponsors, Carol Media, Canopy Connect, Wintrust Financial. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, in the comments below, please give your love, your warmest regards to our amazing guest that we had today, straight out of Michigan, Cheryl Bowker.